Hey basketball coaches and players, today I'm going to give you a couple of 5-out basketball plays that you can run at the high school level, and it should be pretty easy to run them with most teams. They should be able to also run against most defenses, so let's get down, let's check this out. But first, really quickly, make sure to go check out my complete guide to the 5-out basketball offense down in the description below. Okay, so in this first play, we're going to start with one of the wings where, let's say, just for argument's sake, the right side is going to be setting a pin down screen for player 4. At the same exact time as that screen, we're going to have a dribble handoff with player 1 and player 3. Player 3 is going to get that dribble handoff, and then he's going to dribble towards the top of the key, while player 4 is going to be popping to the 3-point line or to the wing. Really quickly, this is the corner, this is the wing, this is the point. While player 4 is cutting towards that wing, player 3 could take that 3 if he's open. He could also pass to player 4 for the 3-point shot as well. Off of this screen, we want to see player 2 rolling towards the basket. Whether his man fights through or they switch, it doesn't matter. We want to see player 2 rolling towards the basket. This is very important because now we're going to be having player 1, after that dribble handoff, he's going to be setting that screen down for player 5. Player 5 is going to be then cutting towards the middle of the key. If he's open, this is going to be another option for us to score. The reason why player 2 is important to cut is because now, if player 5's man is with him still and we can't get that shot off, what we want to see happen is now player 4 and 2 setting up a screen for player 5. Player 5 is going to be then going through, trying to set up player 2 with a screen, and then weaving in between so that player 4 is going to be the secondary screen for player 5. Player 5 at this point should be able to hit that 3 if he's open. If he is not open, at this time we're going to have player 4 fill down. Player 1 is going to be setting a screen for player 2, who's going to be popping up towards the wing. If he's open, of course, drain that 3. If not, then player 1 is going to fill out, and then at this point we are back into our 5-out and we can run through a different 5-out. However, the first 1 to 2 options should be open for you to hit. Now, the main option technically with this play is to get player 5 a basket, either in the middle of the key or as a 3-point shot. Now, if you don't have a center who can hit the 3, then what you would be hoping for at this time is for either a 3-point shot to open up for those first 2 options, or for the middle of the key shot for player 5. Now, if that first play was too difficult, this second one should be a bit easier for you. What we're going to start with here is having player 2 as well as player 5. We're going to start our postman on this right side, and there is a reason for that. And we're going to be having 5 and 2 setting that screen on player 1. Player 1 is then going to use player 5, the postman, as the screener. When that happens, if player 5's man hedges, we want to see player 5 roll towards the basket. If player 1's man doesn't hedge and player 1 is able to get around that screen, what we want to see happen is for player 1 to attack the basket. Because what's going to happen here is player 2 is going to be the one setting that screen for player 5, and now player 1 is going to have a couple of different options. He can either attack that rim. If he has a help defender on this side, kick it out to player 4 for a 3. If there's a help side defender from the opposite side, player 1 can kick it out to player 3 or player 5 for the 3-point shots. Now, the bonus here is if there is any player recovering, trying to recover down to player 3, or player 3 red trying to recover out to player 3, there could be an extra pass to player 5, or if you kick it out to player 5 at first and there's players trying to recover, he can make that extra pass to 3 for that 3-point shot. Now this third play, we're going to start our postmen out in the corners. We're going to have our guards on the wings and our small forward at the point. And there's going to be a really good reason for this, and it's a very simple play. it's going to be player 3 setting that screen away for player 2. Player 2 is going to be using that screen going to the point, and player 3 is going to be rolling off towards the key. Now this offense actually works great against a man-to-man specifically and a 3-2 zone, because usually in a 3-2 zone you can collapse the defense by doing this, and you can then have two options: player 2 as the 3-point shot, or kicking it down for player 5 for a 3-point shot as well. There's also that risk of having that pass to player 5, and with player 3 having that cut, we can then have either player 3 posting up in the key, whether player 1 still has the ball or not. Player 3 could be posting up if there's a mismatch on the forwards, or what we can have is player 3 can set a screen and roll with player 1, or we can have player 3 set a back screen on player 5, who can then, of course, fake this way and go in front of that screen so that player 1 could get him the ball for the layup. Anytime that there's help defense, always look to kick that ball out for a 3, but either way, try to finish if you can at the rim and then kick out for that option later. Now there's more and more teams running a 2-3 zone, and this specific play works against man just well, but against a 2-3 zone, it actually works ridiculously well. So what we're going to be doing here is most likely you're going to be seeing a trap up top trying to force to the sidelines. Players 3 and 4 are going to be most likely playing a bit higher, and what we're going to be wanting to do here is to have player 5 set that screen on player 1, player 5 to roll towards the middle. This is extremely important because we want to get that ball into player 5 in the high post. When this screen happens, we want our players along the corners to go into what I call the Russian spot, and many older Canadian coaches call the Russian spot, which is where the Russians killed Canada against Canada's zone many, many years ago, passing from the high post down to the low post. And that's what we're going to be essentially doing here. And the player 2 and 3 are going to be sneaking down essentially to the corners of the key, and player 5, if he can draw up that middle defender, can pass that ball down to those baseline players. At the same time, we want players 4 and 1 to continue to the corners, because those are options as well. When we kick the ball down, if player 3 red was to recover, we can just easily kick out for a 3. So this is a very simple but deadly 5-out play against specifically a 2-3 zone. I hope that these plays help your team win more games. If they do, hit that like button and subscribe, and I'll see you guys again next time.